Hey guys, how the hell are you? So, I figured instead of an album of the week video this week, because I didn't really feel like there was anything that really grabbed me at all. Honestly, there wasn't really anything that came out at all in the first place. I figured instead, let's do a video of my top songs of 2019. Now, I have made a playlist available on Spotify, which you can click on in the link in the video description. And that list is 30 songs long. And before I get into my top 15 tracks of this year, first, let me give you a quick list right here of 15 runner-up tunes. Okay, so without further ado, number 15 is No Easy Way Out by Beast in Black. This is a band that I love their previous record. I really loved this new record that they came out with. But one of my favorite things about it was the bonus material, and this song was among them. This is a song that Robert Tepper did for the Rocky IV soundtrack, and I'd always wanted to hear a power metal band rather, do a cover of this track, and I'm so happy that someone finally did it. This song was awesome. Number 14, Valediction from Insomnium. So that initial single that came out from that awesome killer new Insomnium record showcases Yanni's clean vocals on it for sure, but also kind of introduces us all to this killer 3 guitar attack that this band now has. And it's a killer way to start off the album, and it's a really just kick-ass song that I can't get enough of. I love putting it on repeat. Number 13, from Rammstein, we've got Radio. I love the new Rammstein record. I thought it was really killer, but there was definitely a standout cut on that record, and for whatever reason, I know it's not one of the singles. I know it's probably not as popular as a lot of other songs on that record, but this is the song that kind of grabbed at me the most. It just had a very infectious melody to it that I loved. Number 12, Christ is Dead by Crypt Sermon. Man, what a fucking killer doom metal track. So this was one of my albums of the week earlier on in the year, and this song was very much my favorite song off the whole record. Just a killer chorus, killer riffage, killer vocal patterns. It was just all around killer. Number 11, so the same band that basically spawned Beast in Black, because that band was created as a result of a guitar player getting fired from Battle Beast. Battle Beast put out a new record this year, and while I normally love their records, I wasn't really the biggest fan of this new one that came out this year. That being said, there were still some killer cuts on this record, and this one is definitely my favorite. Endless Summer just has that like really cool kind of like rockin' summer anthem kind of vibe to it. So yeah, I definitely had to add it to this list. Number 10, I am so happy that Malevolent Creation came out with such a killer record this year. Probably their best record in years, and this song, Decimated, ooh man, just everything about that song is just like kind of a perfect death metal tracking. It just punches you right in the side of the face, has a good enough hook, but at the same time it's not overtly catchy. It's just a fucking brutal, blistering track. Up next, number 9, After the Burial came out with a new record this year, and in the case of this new record that came out, Respire was easily the best song on that whole record. It's just one of those ones that just hits you right from the word go with that perfect intro riff, just a killer chorus. it's just kind of a hard driving song for them. It's awesome. Now, number 8, we're going to veer off the metal path a little bit here because I don't listen to just metal. I listen to a few other things from time to time, and one of my guilty pleasures has always been Betty Who. And she came out with a new record at the beginning of the year, and this song, Just Thought You Should Know, man, I totally dig this track because it honestly reminds me of old school pop from like back in the early 90s with the way that the drum machine sounds and with the way that the synth samples are. It sounds really, really cool. It sounds like someone is trying to do retro synthy pop, but with a modern production value, and it came across so well. Number 7, Devin Townsend with Spirits Will Collide. What can I say? It's a perfect fucking Devin Townsend song. It's epic, it's boisterous, it's loud, it's heavy, it's got a killer melody and a super catchy, honestly, everything about it. The chorus, the verse lines, it's just great from start to finish. It is exactly what you want to hear from this guy. Number 6, Bring Back the Plague from Cattle Decapitation. Oh my God. Like, okay, the title track, Death Atlas, almost made its way onto this list because, man, I loved that song so much. It was so epic. But the more I kept going back to that album when it came out, the more I kept going back to Bring Back the Plague. Yeah, it may have been a song that was kind of released to the world maybe a couple months prior, and everyone kind of got a little taste of what was to come, but it's still kind of a standout cut on that record. It's just fucking incredible. Number 5, Leviathan from Volbeat. So I know that this band isn't exactly everyone's favorite, but I dig them for what they are. They're just kind of a solid fucking rock band. And although definitely there's some moments on their records and in some of their songs where I'm not really able to get into it so much, I'm always like, man, this part should be shorter, this part should be longer. You know, this is how I would have done it. Hey, you know, what can I say? This song, Leviathan, it's super catchy. It's got one of the most catchy choruses that they've ever done, if you ask me. And it's something that I just played on repeat a lot this year. Number 4, there again, veering slightly off the metal path, Alligator from Of Monsters and Men. Now, this was a track that I first heard when I saw them play it on the Stephen Colbert Show, because my wife had it on while we were getting ready for bed, and I was just like, wow, this is a really cool melody, and just the way that the sound quality was in that TV studio that night just must have been perfect for them, because I just kind of really latched onto it, and it compelled me to actually like check out the album. And although the album wasn't really my thing, this song definitely was. I played this song a lot this year. I loved it. Number 3, something that I kind of posted on my Instagram page earlier in the year, and it's a band that I don't think anyone was really talking about this year. It was a great record, kind of ran the gamut of several different styles, but Black Passage had a song this year called Tables Turn, and this song kind of really resonated with me even more than any other song on their record, because it had a serious Blood Simple vibe. Remember those guys? Remember that awesome kind of post-VOD band that Tim and Mike were in that put out like that one really incredible debut record before kind of fizzling out on the sophomore release? Like, that debut record had a lot of moments like on this song. This song just had a hard driving chorus, you know, just kind of that slow, kind of sort of mumbled through verse that just gives way to just a really powerful and impactful chorus. Super catchy. I definitely recommend, if you haven't checked out Black Passage, check them out and check out that track. Number 2, I gotta give it up to Borknagar and that track Voices that closes out their new record. Oh man, what an epic song. It's not even like super long. It's not something that has vocals from ICS Vortex, which you would think that a song with that vocal style would probably made this list first. No, no, no. This song has lead vocals courtesy of keyboardist Lars Nedlund, and goddamn, such a catchy, infectious song. I don't know why, and I don't know why this popped into my head the first few times that I heard this song, but I just envisioned like some kind of slow fade in, fade out, fade in, fade out kind of TV ad for like Vikings or something like that, with this playing on in the background. Would have been just a perfect advertisement for that show. Such just a killer track. It definitely has that kind of unique vibe and atmosphere that Borknagar brings to practically every song. But it's just great. Minimalist lyrics. There's hardly any lyrics to the song, but the vocal melody, the riffs that are in there, just so good. I even love that one part in the song where it kind of veers off of the groove that the majority of the song had, and now all of a sudden we've got kind of a straight drum beat with no groove to it, but yet the vocals and the guitars are still doing a groove over it. It's kind of a really, really awesome and interesting counterpoint. Just a great track, a great way to close out that record. And number one, my absolute favorite song of the year that I blasted on repeat so fucking much, Godlessness from Firespawn, is a perfect fucking death metal song. If you ask me, it doesn't get much better than that. It had the blast beats. It had kind of a slow trudging riff that kind of marches you into the rest of the song. Very, very kind of Morbid Angel-ish in that regard. Heavy as fuck production, even though these guys kind of started off with that sort of HM2 based sound like you would expect from the former vocalist of Entombed. It just, something happened with the band's sound to where it kind of developed into a slightly different tone, a slightly different vibe than previous records, and it ended up resulting in just an incredibly brutal record. And nothing more brutal on this record than this incredible song. I mean, it's just a perfect track. Guitar solos, blast beats, just kind of the groove, killer vocals. Man, this is the kind of death metal that just really gets me going and really keeps me excited for the genre, even more so than any sort of like techie thing that anyone can do. Just keeping it brutal, keeping it sinister, keeping it kind of fucking real. That's what I got from this track, and that's why it is my song of the year. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, click the link in the video description. Check out my playlist on Spotify for my top songs of 2019. It has all the songs from the list that I just read off to you, as well as kind of the top 15 runners up from the list at the beginning of this video. So with that, that's all I've got. Lots more content to come in the future. Lots more videos to come. We're nearing the end of the year. I'm thinking about doing an end of the year video to kind of recap everything. And then, hey, it's time to get ready for the NAMM show. So, yeah. Keep tuning in. If you've got suggestions for coverage for the NAMM show, go ahead and leave it in the comment description below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.